Seeing the enlightenment in the business management film The Goal, I suddenly associate with my IE enlightenment, which is a very important sentiment that affects my life. It was December 1993. Nearly 30 years have passed, but I still remember very clearly that the scene happened in All Asia garment factory of my old owner Tri-State Group, located in Lianhua Mountain, Panyu, Guangzhou. It should have been only about 2 months since I first joined the company. One day, my boss in Taiwan, Mr. Shen, asked me to make an office relocation plan. I attached great importance to IT. After all, this is the first time to accept the task personally assigned by my boss. In addition, during the probation period, the pressure can be imagined. I'm afraid of missing any link and failing to protect my work. After 2 days of hard thinking, I finally wrote 5 pieces of pap. Like the college entrance examination, I made a full and detailed description of all links from work preparation, personnel arrangement, sequence, time node, responsible person, implementation coordination, and so on, and then revised it repeatedly. I knocked confidently on the door of T. He boss's office and presented it him. Mr. Shen didn't accept it. He just scanned his eyes and told me, "There are too many words. Delete the redundant words." The mood suddenly fell to the bottom. It was my hard work for 2 days. The boss didn't even look at it. At least I should know. My writing skills and my hard work. I can't help it. According to the boss, there are only 2 pages. I feel that every word can't be reduced. If I reduce 1 word, I feel that the text is not smooth. It should be no problem now. Knocking on the door again. Mr. Shen looked at me and didn't accept yet. He said directly, "It's reduced to only 1 page to find me." Now I collapsed. I feel sorry for the Chinese teacher if I lose any word. What should I do? After holding it for a day, it was reduced to 1 page, but I felt that the sentence of the article was nonsense. With an uneasy mood, I stubbornly knocked on the door and presented it. This time, Mr. Shen took it, probably looked at the content, smiled and said, "Yes, turn the text into a form and give it to me." Form. In school I only learned to write compositions, not to make forms. Don't make fun of us. Those who didn't use Excel 30 years ago drew tables by hand with a ruler. I have an idea. Write one thing in every separate line. Should it be like this? After that, I knocked on the door and presented it to the boss. Mr. Shen took it over in a very kind tone and said, "One thing and line are still not clear enough. Split it to several columns, including logical serial number, item content, starting time, responsible person, and remarks. You can make another one for me." This time, I felt as if I was enlightened. I didn't feel the frustration of being repeatedly rejected by the boss. Instead, I was very excited and happy. I quickly finished the form according to the boss's wishes. I was full of confidence and knocked on the door to find the boss. Mr. Shen took it over and looked at it and stretched out his thumb. "Say yes, then reduce the contents of each line to a few words and put them in boxes. The boxes only retain the contents of the matters and the person in charge, and then connect these boxes from top to bottom with arrows in order. For other contents that need to be explained in detail, make supplementary explanations at the corresponding place on the right side of the box." I understood it and finished it quickly. I knocked on the door and handed it to the boss. Mr. Shen took it over, looked at it, held out his th. And said, "Good, do you think this is clearer than the previous one?" I nodded and said yes. He continued, "Before I became a manager, I also worked in IE and trained in this way. The basic skill of IE is to simplify and standardize complex things. The so-called simplification is not as simple as simply reducing the text content, but there are methods. If I can express it in tables, I don't need words. And if I can express it in diagrams, I don't need tables. The purpose is not just to understand by myself, but to make the viewer understand it easily, effortlessly, and easily will do so. The so-called standardization means that there are methods and steps, and it must be refined and refined again. The steps are few and cannot be few. Each step and process is simple and clear. Anyone who operates according to this step can get the same correct results. And it can be copied and popularized. I believe that this exercise will make you remember deeply and will not forget the basic concept that an IE person must have. It may also be something you need to do in your life. Improvement starts with simplification and standardization. Thank you, boss. Thank you, Mr. Shen. I always remember your teachings. Simplifying complex things and standardizing regular things are not only an important turning point in my life, but also a valuable asset in my life. It led me to invent the beat light control method. It led me to invent the US hacked conveyor. And it led me to propose 5 standard steps for one-piece flow management of the production line, which has affected the values of me and the company: simplicity, efficiency, standards, and win-win. Thank you, my IE enlightenment teacher, Mr. Shen Shengjun. I am also grateful to those Taiwanese cadres who learned the noble virtues of setting an example, selfless inheritance, willingness to share, diligence and pragmatism, willingness to learn, and dedication from them, which made us the first batch of main promoters and beneficiaries of TOC, Six Sigma and L-Even production. Thank you. Do you have similar enlightenment in your life? Have you ever met such a life mentor and noble person? Leave your thoughts in the comment area.